Good morning to you and welcome back. The FBI and the Justice Department now bracing for a bombshell from the Inspector General's office on the handling of the Hillary Clinton email probe. That report is set to be released today.
So what should we be looking for inside this report? What to expect? Here now to weigh in is criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi. Bob, thanks so much for coming on this morning. You love that this is coming out. Tell us why.
Well, listen, I was the head prosecutor of an agency, and I don't believe that anybody's above the law. We need internal practices to ensure that our law enforcement agencies are operating properly. So just by the mere fact that we can make a complaint and it can be investigated, I think is a good thing because, sometimes, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Sure. So I think this is a good thing. I think Democrats and Republicans will both like it.
So let's take a look at some of the top names that are going to be, we expect to be under scrutiny today in this report. That starts off with James Comey, former FBI Director Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and Peter Strzok. Of these four, who do you think will take the brunt? And do you expect to see any other names possibly not on our screen?
Possibly could be other names, but Comey's going to take the biggest brunt for having violated and been insubordinate by doing that press conference on the Clinton matter, saying things that were outside the investigation, and not consulting with the Attorney General. He's clearly at biggest risk.
Comey made that press conference was unusual. He came out and said that he recommended no charges against Hillary Clinton in this case and called her careless. You had the Loretta Lynch tarmac meeting right before exonerating Hillary Clinton. That's expected to be reviewed. You had the McCabe had the big-time role in the investigation after his wife got the donation from Terry McAuliffe, who was a Clinton ally. And then you have the Strzok and Page text messages that will also be reviewed. There's a lot of things here, but it's not all against pro-Hillary people. There's some pro-Trump factions to this as well, that maybe there were some leaks that may have helped the president get elected, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of these things went to the detriment of Hillary Clinton, and this is why Comey should never have given that press conference. It's one thing to say somebody's not being investigated, but then to attack them as being reckless, and then to go into a week before the election then saying, oh, we're going to reopen an investigation is outrageous. While that's all going on, of course, there's an investigation going on with Trump that is not being released, as it should not have been released. So this was really inappropriate. And with regard to the tarmac meeting, I was the head of an agency doing political corruption cases, and people did come up and approach me. And you know what you do? You say, thank you, sorry for your troubles. You turn around and you walk the other way. This was completely inappropriate. But all of these things, the leaking of the information with McCabe with regard to the Clinton Foundation, the Comey statement, all really hurt Hillary Clinton. Nevertheless, it shouldn't have been done, period, end of story. Prosecution and politics should not be mixing with one another unless there is an indictment.
So there was a report that, as part of a draft report, that it used the word insubordinate to describe James Comey. If that is in fact true, when this comes out, what should happen to him and what do you think happens?
Okay, remember, the Inspector General's report is really about internal practices and policies. They have no criminal jurisdiction. They can make a criminal referral, like you saw with McCabe, because McCabe was accused of lying to federal officials, and that is a serious crime. With regard to Comey, it can be a referral, but I don't think it's going to be a referral. I think they're going to say, well, because I don't think what he did was criminal. It violated DOJ guidelines. It was insubordinate. Remember what they're saying there. He's a law enforcement officer. The people that control law enforcement are the DOJ, the Department of Justice. They're lawyers, like our lawyers would. If a cop ever went into one of my cases and started giving an announcement whether somebody was going to be prosecuted or not and didn't run it past me, that would be insubordination of my authority, because ultimately as a civilian, as an attorney, as a prosecutor, I'm the one who makes the call. That's where I think the insubordination comes in.
Okay.
And nothing about the Trump-Russia probe in today's release. That will not be issued at all here.
I don't think that you're going to see anything with respect to that, because one, by the way, they're buttoning that investigation down. You don't see Mueller out there and his team doing these meetings, having tarmac meetings with people. So there's nothing with regard to that at this particular point in time, because there's been no allegation of wrongdoing with regard to that as far as policies are concerned of the DOJ. McCabe, Comey, Loretta Lynch, and the rest, Strzok and the girl, Lisa, they're all in serious jeopardy of serious problems in this case. And it's unfortunate, and it's a good thing that we have an ability to have a guy like go in there and say, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, because there's lots of people out there, guys, lots of defendants that are out there that don't have the opportunity to take the DOJ and the FBI to task. So I think it's a good thing anytime, even though most of those guys do the right job. It's good.
Got to protect these institutions.
That's right.
Integrity. Thank you so much, Bob.
You got it.